Morning, everyone. I'm Kristen Myers, editor-in-chief of ETF.com, here with your market minute for Thursday, June 5th. So we have two things that are really moving the markets right now. The first is going to be the US-China Trade War. China's Xi Jinping and President Trump spoke on the phone in a call that was initiated by President Trump. And right now, investors and markets are really awaiting any sort of update in what is happening between the United States and China in this tit-for-tat tariff and trade war. For context, and as a reminder, tariffs have been lowered from 125% between the two countries to where they are now, 10% as a part of a temporary trade deal. Now remember, both countries have accused each other of violating this sort of temporary agreement between the two nations. And so investors right now are really awaiting for any good or bad news that might happen when it comes to the US-China trade war. We also have the jobs report out tomorrow morning. It's released at 8:30 a.m. and investors are going to be looking at that as an indicator for the strength of the U.S. economy. We've had recession risks rising and we have had the economy weakening. And so investors are really going to be paying attention to that piece of economic data. But here is what is doing very, very well today. As I just mentioned, recession risks are rising and the economy has been weakening. Investors have been flocking towards safe haven assets. Gold has been their favorite, but right now gold is no longer in first place. Silver is actually clinching that spot as investors are looking for other safe haven assets to put their money. So silver prices have jumped to $36 per troy ounce. That is the highest level since 2012. And predictably and understandably, ETFs that are invested in silver are responding accordingly. So let's take a first look at silver SLV, the iShares Silver Trust. It is up 4% right now in trading. Now, if we look at the year-to-date performance, it is up over 19% for the year, which is much better than the broad market, which is only up about 2% right now. Then we also have SIL, S-I-L, the Global X Silver Miners ETF. It is up over 5% right now. And if I take a look at the performance using the ETF.com fund screener, I see that performance year to date is up nearly 48%, incredibly well. Let's take a look at gold, which is kind of like silver's better performing counterpart, or at least it was until recently. Gold right now is right at the flat line. And just for a comparison for performance, gold so far year to date is up over 28%. So beating SLV, however, not beating SIL, that's Silver Miners ETF. We'll keep you updated on everything that happens with the US economy, especially once we get that jobs report out tomorrow. So be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to ETF.com.